Welcome back, viewers, to part 4 of our Hebridean bikepacking adventure. After waking on the beautiful golden sands of Scarrister, the road now leads us north, over high ground and into another world entirely. We'll leave Harris behind, restock supplies in the charming town of Tarbert, and ride on into the quiet expanse of Lewis, a moorland dotted with lochs and ancient ruins. It's a place that feels still and untouched. The mountains fade and the moors begin. Let's go.
Wrapped up warm this morning.
Not quite got everything on yet, but there's still time.
It's looking pretty good.
The next stretch of our ride was absolutely stunning. More golden beaches set against the bluest of skies. We just kept stopping to drink it all in.
Beautiful, isn't it?
That's out to Taransay.
Uninhabited since 1974, Taransay was used in the year 2000 for the TV series Castaway that brought Ben Fogle to fame. Along the way you'll find a standing stone, though please don't ask me to pronounce it. Thought to have been erected around 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, the stone faces out towards Taransay.
Here's a 180. Taransay. And another 180. I want to go for a swim.
If you haven't yet had your fill of beautiful beaches, don't worry, there's more just around the corner. Shortly after reaching this bay, we veered off for a detour, turning left down a scenic coastal road towards Luskentyre, where you will discover a beach which is often claimed to be one of the most beautiful in the UK. But the narrow road leading to it required us to frequently pull over at the passing places to let other vehicles squeeze by, as the route can get quite tight when it's busy.
It's cloudy in now. Oh shit.
Our route now veered inland, climbing more steeply than we had grown accustomed to, as we crossed the moor towards the town of Tarbert. But first, Dave had the small matter of his ever-deflating mattress to address.
Dave decided to go sailing.
At least he had a spectacular view to accompany him while patching his punctures. We restocked our supplies in the harbour town of Tarbert.
Is it the deli, Tarbert?
And took a well-earned break for a coffee and a bite to eat. But a word of warning, don't land on a Sunday or you'll find most of the shops closed. We enjoyed exploring this charming little town. However, we soon realised the climbing wasn't over. A bigger ascent awaited, this time up and over the moor once again, but beneath the imposing slopes of Clisham, the highest mountain in the Outer Hebrides, standing proudly at 799 metres.
There's a climb out of Tarbert. 500 odd feet. Still another 300 and some to go. Might be in the cloud at the top. Reach the area of snow poles. It gets pretty bleak up here.
By now the cloud had thickened, making our surroundings feel all the more atmospheric, sombre even. But the descent was a joy.
What goes up must come down.
For safety reasons we didn't film it, but it was one of the best, most swooping descents I've ever experienced.
We're now leaving Last island. Welcome to the Isle of Lewis. I do expect some bright weather behind again. That's some blue sky on Lewis. The landscape seems to have changed again. Some sort of monument up there. Not sure what they for. Oh, this will tell us. The Land of Struggle, memorial to the heroes of lochs.
The Land Struggle Memorial near Ballallen marks the site of the 1887 Perk deer raid, when over 1,000 crofters hunted and cooked dozens of deer to protest ancestral evictions and land being turned into a private hunting park. It's one of 3 cairns across Lewis, honouring the everyday folk who stood up and sat down to venison in the name of justice.
Well, this has been one hell of a pit stop. Very friendly, very helpful. Ballallen, not sure if that's how you pronounce it. There's a charity shop here, there's a community village hall, there's toilets, there's a museum.
Finished serving when we got here, but they're nicely laid out. Teas and coffees, cakes, and donations in the box.
Big thank you to Gemma, who's just helped us here. All water, nice cheese scone, a few tea bags, absolutely perfect. On we go. Yet we still need to find a pitch, but at least we've got our water now.
What would you really like now?
The gloves.
You shouldn't lose things, should you? I misplace things, I don't lose things permanently.
At least when I lose things, I actually lose them.
If they turn up at any point,
They're not going to.
Right. But if they do,
How much are you going to give me? £100?
what if they
If
turn
I'm
up?
right, are you going to give me £100?
I reckon those gloves are still in that medieval church, hopefully now in the hands of someone who remembers things. Meanwhile, we didn't have to wait long for a pitch, just off the road with a picnic table and a loch view.
Right next to the walking route, in fact.
Not a bad trade for a pair of gloves, really.
And a bit of a windbreak. There's the road. Right, let's get the tent up.
Dave still hasn't paid up, by the way. But despite the pleasant setting, those lost gloves were still dominating the scene.
You lose your gloves, offer to buy you more.
You didn't! You didn't! You said that I'd have to learn my lesson, so you wouldn't buy me a new pair.
It seems I'm not the only one with a duff memory. And for the record, I still don't have a new pair of windproof cycling gloves. Just saying.
And we can have this here on camera now. Are you saying then that you're going to buy me a new pair of gloves? Because I lost the other ones.
Okay, visit the charity shop first thing.
Funny how a bit of windproof fabric can take up so much mental space. And if anyone can find a pair of these in powder blue, please let me know.
Do you think it's going to stay up, Dave?
Try different phraseology, I would suggest.
I think it's going to spring another leak.
Let's leave it here then, with that sinking mattress.
Repair number 3 or 4. Every time I see it repair, one leak springs up.
Which is exactly what happened to me on the Cape Wrath Trail. Bloody Sea to Summit. Get your act together.
For the record, Sea to Summit have excellent after-sales service. We both received brand new mattresses on both occasions. I hope you've enjoyed this light-hearted ride across another border. If so, you know what to do. And please join me for the final stretch to the fabulous Butt of Lewis. Until then, cheerio!